Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor. I want to start this video with my disclaimer. I'm going to give you the disclaimer twice today because of the topic that I'm covering. I'm the Digital Asset Investor. I'm not an investment advisor, not a financial advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. What I'm about to talk to you about, I'm specifically telling you, don't listen to me. This is just an idea. I want you to talk to your financial advisor or wherever, if you have your retirement account, whoever administers that IRA or 401k, talk to them about this and don't primarily take my word for it. I'm telling you in this video one thing that I have done and I did more of yesterday, and that it is available to many of you with IRAs or I'm not sure about 401ks. You'll have to ask your people about that. Okay, but first I want to start by going over this article. As many of you know, the stock market yesterday went down 600 points. And as many of you also know, the Digital Asset Investor has been screaming from the rooftops for the last few months that our politicians and governments and central banks have put the world in a debt situation that cannot be gotten out of. It cannot. And don't take my word for it. Go and look at the U.S. debt clock. Just do a few Google searches on the debts of the world and how much each country's in debt, and then ask yourself, how are they going to get out of this? Okay. Well, the result of what they've created, and I've told you many times that in my opinion, this is my opinion, I believe that the greatest beneficiary, maybe not in the short run, but when this financial collapse happens as a result of the debts and the kicking the can down the road that all of these governments and central banks have done, and having kept interest rates artificially low for way too long, and having told us after the financial crisis that everything was okay now because we bailed out everybody. All they really did is locked more debt onto the countries, took it off of their back, the bank and the central, and put it on top of the citizenry. That's what they did, and they know it. And now when you're seeing 600-point crashes, that is the result of that. Well, many people would disagree with me on this, but I've said for a long time, I believe ultimately that digital assets will be one of the things that when the money flees the stock market and the bond market and the traditional markets as a result of what they've done, people are going to be looking for something that is an alternative that will protect them from any more of what the government's new solution is, or their new QE or whatever they call it, which is nothing but screw the citizen and keep the government going, or keep the central bank going. That's what it really is. Well, this article right here came out today, okay? Cryptocurrencies stay mostly steady despite global stock market sell-off. And then it tells you here, cryptocurrencies appear to deviate from past behavior during Thursday's stock market sell-off. In the afternoon of Asia trade, Bitcoin, XRP, and Ethereum were all moderately lower, but experienced nothing like the massive declines they experienced during the last stock wipeout. Back in mid-October, digital currencies bled out 18 billion of their market value. Well, I'm not telling you that this is the final time that this is. I'm not telling you that this was the turning point or anything, but I am telling you that articles like this, the title of this is the very beginning drips of what I believe will be many more type articles. If the traditional investors, when they're seeing all these sell-offs and getting scared, they see enough articles that lead them to believe, because I don't think many of them realize what you and I may realize right now, how much of a solution digital assets are. But I believe that slowly, if not really fast, that many citizens of the world will begin to see this as a new gold and silver, or traditionally, I've told you, usually people flee into treasuries. Well, what if you're in an environment where you're in a trading war with somebody like China, and they're selling the U.S. treasuries that they own a lot of? Are you going to go and go to that safe? Is that going to be safe anymore? In my opinion, no, because it represents the debt that is the exact problem. Okay, so if gold and silver and precious metals have always been an alternative, and then right in the midst of that, you have Wall Street, and I referred to this on Twitter. What if the creation of Bakkt and Fidelity digital assets and all of these things was not just the creation of a new asset class, but a plan B for Wall Street? What if they, and I'm not saying they do or that's their thought pattern, but what if they know that this debt crisis is coming? They're not stupid people. I've never accused them of being stupid. I've accused Wall Street and central banks of not being responsible with their position. But they're not stupid. And so what if digital assets, what if it's not a coincidence that digital asset exchanges are all of a sudden popping up by traditional finance arms? What if it is the plan B because they know one day this is coming? It may not be right now, it may not be next month or even next year, but what if they know that it's coming and this would be a new safe haven? Moving along, because I believe this, let me show you one of the things that I've done. Now, I've shown some of you this before, but there's a lot of new people on here. You hear all the time that there's not a Bitcoin ETF yet. Well, that doesn't mean that there are not investment products or ways that you can get into digital assets, get exposure to digital assets through IRAs or Roth IRAs, because I did it yesterday, okay? Now, first I'm going to tell you, this is only a Bitcoin investment trust. This is by Grayscale. And as I've told you many times before, even though XRP is the greatest digital asset ever created, that does not mean that the top 10 or 15 digital assets, probably led by Bitcoin because of its first mover advantage, will not also in the short to medium term go nuts. I believe they will. I believe they're going to sooner rather than later. And so I personally, through my IRA where I have it, am not able to get into the one I want to get in, which is the digital large cap fund that Grayscale has. And so I'm going to tell you the one that I did get in, and then I'm going to take you through the digital large cap investment fund and what it looks like. But basically, just so you know, this Bitcoin investment trust, it's not investing directly in Bitcoin. It's more or less going up and down with the price. It's following the index of Bitcoin. And so, and this kind of gives you some general information about the symbol. So like, let's say you have a Schwab account or an E-Trade account. You can go in and type in this symbol just like you would type in a symbol for a stock. I know for a fact that it's on E-Trade. You can buy this on E-Trade. I don't know about Schwab or TD Ameritrade. I don't know about those. GBTC, and you can buy this. And if you I want to show you something that's really fascinating here. So let's say I pulled a chart for you. This is from Yahoo Finance. Okay. This is GBTC. This is the Bitcoin Investment Trust. I bought some myself yesterday. And again, I'm not telling you to do it. I'm telling you to go talk to your financial advisor about it. But I believe that Bitcoin is going to go far beyond 20,000 one day. I believe we're in a bear market that happens in these kind of cycles. Well, back in December, I want to show you this GBTC was at $29.66. Today, it's at $7.03. And so, I'm going to pull out my handy dandy calculator here just to take you through the numbers. Let's say that Bitcoin let's say that you had $10,000. Let's see, $10,000 invested in this would get you, what did I say the price? Okay, it's the previous close. I'll just use that. It's $7.22. So you would have 1,385 of these. Let's say it went back up. Bitcoin went back up to 20,000 or so, and this thing got back to 29.66. That $10,000 would be worth $41,080. So I'm just telling you what I did, but it's a pretty interesting thing. So I just wanted to show you that if you are in an IRA or a Roth IRA or something like that, there is an option. You could get exposure to digital assets. If you're terrified of the stock market, maybe you just want to be in cash. But again, talk to your financial advisor. But this is one of the options. You could also buy into gold and silver ETFs. But this is what I did because I believe the world's about to change, and I believe Bitcoin will be a part of the ride. I want to be parked in this thing. Now, I want to preface this by saying that this is money that is in an IRA, so it's not like I'm going to take this money out. If I really wanted to do something with it, I would take it out if I could take it out and cash out without being penalized, then I might take it out and buy physical Bitcoin or physical XRP, more likely. But because it's in an IRA and there's many people facing this situation, this is a way. I want to show you the other way before I let you go. Digital Large Cap Fund provides diversified exposure to the top liquid digital assets. Now, I wasn't able to find this on the platform I use, but if you go down here, this one it's following the indexes on average of these things the same way. But this one would allow you to get in Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin. It would give you exposure to all of them following the indexes on average, how they go up. And so for those of you, the symbol for this one, if you want to check with whatever your platform is where you have your IRA or Roth IRA, it's DLC Fund. Now, if I had access to it, this is the one I would be buying. I would probably buy a little bit of both of them myself. But again, ask your financial advisor because I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that there are Roth IRA and IRA products to get you exposure to digital assets. But ask your financial advisor about them. Thanks for listening.